Alright, I am back with another Destiny 2 video, and it is reset day, but there are a couple different things to cover because we also got a new trailer today for Lightfall. We are in the midst of Lightfall marketing ramp-up season, so pretty much every week until launch, which is, 5-6 weeks from now, I would expect to get some sort of thing related to Lightfall, whether it's marketing, like a trailer, or whether it's stuff from the TWAB. Well, Destiny has been pretty secretive about launching its seasons. One thing they are always doing now is heavily promoting their expansions. Expansions are something you can pre-order ahead of time, unlike seasons. So is whenever they can sell it, including 6 months ahead of time, like Lightfall was debuted. They are not going to be as crazily secretive, perhaps, as we've seen them be for the past few seasons of the game itself. A few different things here. We'll just start with the season itself. You log in today and you'll be greeted with a message that says upcoming quest and activity, and it says during the final 2 weeks of the season of Seraph, a special finale quest and activity will be available for all players. Season pass owners who have completed the More Than a Weapon quest will start the finale quest automatically upon login. So previously they haven't really... This is kind of the answer to me complaining about, not me specifically, but everybody complaining about when's the Savathun exorcism going to be? When's it going to be? It can't possibly be the last week before the expansion, right? It was, but I think they are now realizing that maybe they should have said something, and this is them saying something here, that the season of the Seraph finale will be 2 weeks before the end of the season and the beginning of Lightfall. So good to know that. That isn't to say nothing is happening week to week. We still had some story developments this week, and we are getting decently far into the season where there's still new stuff happening. But the big thing, whatever the big thing is, will be happening then. We don't really know what that is. Like, all this week, Rasputin is still just sort of trying to figure out how he can use the war sats without just blowing up a bunch of Hive and strengthening Zebu Arath. So we don't quite know what the deal is there and what the resolution will be, unlike the Savathun exorcism. Like, that was pretty clear. We knew Savathun would be exercised in some capacity. It would probably fail in some capacity, and that would lead to the events of the Witch Queen. The plan, as you may recall, was to exercise Savathun, and then once she was separated from a worm, to permakill her, and then, but that was obviously going to fail because Savathun was in, it was in the Witch Queen, and she was alive, and there were some secrets there. Like, we found out that we actually did kill Savathun with Mara's little knife stab, and then Savathun was resurrected by the Traveler on purpose and given the lights. That was a big twist. Here, we don't really know what the end result is going to be. I've seen people digging into data mines and stuff, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to comment on that. But like, something will happen, and it is 2 weeks long, longer than 1 week, which was the exorcism mission. It always strikes me as a little weird. Like, it's trying to balance, being a game of service, being a live service with like a timely quest that leads into the next thing, and then also producing content that exists for 2 weeks out of a 10-year lifespan of a game and is never seen again. Just very strange to have a game operate like that, because we just really hardly ever see anything like that happen in games. Like, the only thing I can really think of are like these one-time Fortnite events that like come and go, but it's very unusual, and like, it's cool in some ways, it's not as cool in other ways, but that is what's happening. In terms of the quest this week, it was a little odd. We, once again, are just sort of like, go get some more data, we need more data, blah, blah, blah. But we also got sent on a special mission by Rasputin to the Cosmodrome, where we had to get some classified data that even Anna doesn't know about, that's separated from the network. We had to like physically pick it up. Strange mission. It's very short. It's very easy. It's like 3 rooms of enemies, if that, and it's like a dozen enemies a room, and then there's just a big servitor in the last room. It starts off at like the beginning of the D1 Warmind Rasputin strike, and then you kind of take a detour and go, I think these are new areas. They're pretty small, they're pretty limited, but just a few short fights, and then I thought this might end up having to do something with Fellwinter, but it's not actually explained what this is. I do wonder if these are the kind of the files the Witness is looking for. Like, we had, the Witness, the whole plot of the dungeon is the Witness trying to find like secret Rasputin files, presumably about Neomuna. So I wonder if these are the kind of final Neomuna files, which will give us information that leads to discovery of that Neptune colony, and clearly Callus discovers that Neptune colony too, because he's invading it. So we are not great at keeping that secret, apparently. That's pretty much it for the story stuff. This is the final week of the exotic mission where I think we're done getting Hunter's traces. I think there's no more upgrades there, as far as I know. But we do have the last catalyst here. There's all these weird story hints in the exotic mission list here, where in the intro text this time it says how whoever we're working with here, I'm not even sure if we know 100% who this is. I think it's a hidden agent or something. They say that Hake was known for, like post collapse Hake, like recent Hake was known for, they tried to like steal and salvage the tech used that Gaul used to bind the Traveler. And then that tech was stolen and used by the Scions to try and kill Zavala. And the guy's just like, well, I don't know what the threads lead to, but that's kind of weird. And it is weird because nothing about Revision Zero so far has anything to do with late capture tech or late suppression. Like, it's just a gun with a lot of different perk options. That's kind of all it is. So I don't really understand the connecting threads. And then last week we got something about how Golden Age Hake was like studying ancient alien artifacts on Earth or something, xenoarchaeology. And like none of this is really connected yet. I don't quite understand where this is going, but like I'm interested. I don't know if at the end of the quest today there's some answers here, because this should in theory be the last week of the quest, but if there's anything interesting there, I'll circle back around. Finally, have to comment on what might be the most significant development of the week. This crazy new shader that Bungie has rolled out. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. Something about something syncing. Anyway, it's the one shader available for Bright Dust in the store right now. It has a really cool effect where on certain materials, I'm not exactly sure what materials. I think it's more cloth type materials, and it interacts with glows as well. It creates kind of a thunderstorm, lightning storm effect. So it can like rotate through different shades of blue. In the example here, it does this little like lightning crackle. Really wild. One of the craziest shaders I've ever seen, and this is a week after one of the other crazy shaders I've ever seen, the Iron Banner chainmail shader, which I now have to take off and replace with this one on at least some of my classes, because this shader just goes extremely hard. I don't know what happened with the shader team this past year, but they unlocked a ton of potential in terms of really interesting looking, special effect type like shaders that we've never seen before. So bravo to them. I don't know what happened over there, but they're drinking some good juice or something. I don't know. But and then finally the trailer. There's not like a ton to say about the trailer, honestly. It's new footage, but I don't know how much new it's showing. We got some significant things. We got the voice actor reveal for one of the two Cloud Striders. I think the older one, I believe. And I definitely think it's the voice actor who plays Lee in Telltale's The Walking Dead. The famous, back when Telltale games were actually extremely good, the famous Walking Dead lead character there. Great voice work, and cool to see him here. There's also one brief thing where we see the Warlock summoning some sort of like strand aphids or something. They're like little strand bugs that kind of make me think of the new Broodmaster, or whatever it's called, Brood Spinner. Something with a brood, but it seems like you're going to be controlling a little legion of strand bugs or something, which is hilarious, and I love that. So other than that, I didn't see too many things new. There's little the LC fish flying everywhere, so those are clearly a major thing in that trailer and in Neomuna, but we don't know much more past that. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I will talk to you soon. Take care.